Hello, everybody. How are you? Happy Thursday. Please tell me it's Thursday. Oh, I have a habit of that. Really bad. Deborah Perrin here. How is everyone? I hope I'm in my global group. I love our global group for all of you. But today, I am going to go over all the mascaras and the promo and some ways that I promo, and there's a billion ways. I see so many great ideas. I'm always stealing, but I'm going to go over these with you first, and then we will go through the, first of all, the promo. Let me just go through that real quick. Any mascara item that you purchase up through the 13th, so I need to get another order in because mine are starting to get low. But you get a eyelash curler for every one. And this is the time when we have deals like that to stock up and be able to toss these into your customers and put it in their little bags and give them some little freebies. Everybody loves a good freebie, right? We love a little gift with purchase and stuff like that. Things like these little, our scrunchies. I've got some summer colors here that I love to have around. And I kind of, move those around depending on the season or the weather or just whatever your promo happens to be. Everyone is totally different. So we're going to talk about all of that here in just a little bit. But first, let's go through the primer, which we all adore. Kiss, kiss. Okay, now this is our 3-in-1 maximizing primer, okay? And Undersense also is what we call it. But this goes first on your lashes, okay? Now, I'm going to show you. Now, I have our Lash Sense lashes on my upper lashes. Adore. Who adores their lashes, okay? Now, on the bottom here, I have one coat of the primer. So let me kind of get up close and see. Can you kind of, for those of you who have never worn it or you are brand new and you're just placing your first orders and you haven't really tried it, it really helps on thickening and bringing out all the little small hairs that might not come out. And this is on your uppers too. I just don't have mascara, so I'm going to show you on my uppers. So I'm going to show you on my bottom lashes, okay? But if you can see, it's kind of like a natural beige flesh tone. And it has a real concentrated, smaller brush so that you can really get in and coat those very small little tiny lashes that really sometimes if we just go real fast and we're using our mascara and we're in a hurry and that sort of thing, we can kind of miss a lot. And those smaller lashes on the bottom, a lot of times they will help that volume and really make your lashes look fuller and longer. And the natural beige color actually helps the color of the mascara that you're choosing to show up more bold. Does that make sense? If you take a piece of white paper and let's say in a piece of black paper and you take your favorite colored marker and you have it on that white paper, it shows up really bright and bold. But if you put it on a darker, which could be the color of your lashes, everyone's lashes are different, then it doesn't quite show up as well. You might be able to see it, but it doesn't have that bold effect. Does that make kind of some sense? So that's why it is this color, so that everyone, no matter our lash colors, skin tones, anything like that, can wear this primer. Now, I just want to go through a couple of things, which these will kind of be repeated because, you know, our mascaras are amazing. But in the product knowledge guide, and I can kind of pronounce some of these, but I just want to go over a couple of them, okay? The first one is the biotinol tripeptide. Now, the reason for that is that really is infused into our lashes, in our mascaras, so that it helps to grow the lashes over time. And that's also what Capixyl will do, but it helps on the thickness and the fullness and the health of your lashes over time. So that's kind of throughout all of our mascaras, okay? And the primer has some soft waxes in it. So if you kind of warm it up, and we've all talked about that. I mean, some people, you know, put it here, they put it under. I just kind of warm mine up in my hands because I don't have a whole lot of room to hold them. So I kind of just warm them up in my hands a little bit. If they're kept in a cold area, then you might want to put them in. You could always just leave them out in a more tepid room temp. Maybe throw a towel over it, something like that, because they work so much easier on your lashes when they are room temp like that or warm. So that's why we talk about that when we start talking about our mascaras. It just helps them to flow so much easier, okay? And while we're here, since all you're seeing behind you, I apologize, we're in my nail half of the studio. And here is my Senegence half of the studio. See? You can have a business in a small area. Woohoo! We love that. Hi, Kimberly. And so that is why we want to warm these up. So it kind of gives them a lot more ease and be able to work with them. And then when your primer is on, the first coat will kind of coat it, but the second coat really begins the development of the thickness and the length. So let it dry, say 1 to 2 minutes is all you have to do. And then I think this should be kind of warm enough, and see how the brush, I kind of take some of this off so I don't have, you don't want a big, you know, blop of product right on the tip. But you've got some really great detail in those bristles right on the tip. So I'm gonna show you. I kind of just angle it. You don't really want to get in the habit of doing this. You might poke your eye, but you're really, really steady-handed. You're really good. So I just kind of touch them on the tips of my lashes, and then I work kind of rolling it. And just, like, I've already got one layer on. So I'm just thickening and lengthening, and see, I can already see them, and you just barely have to touch it. Much easier to go in from the side. I am a lefty and I'm doing my right eye, so in a magnifying mirror. Because I wear glasses, I need my magnifying mirror to put my makeup on my eyes. So can you see that now? They actually show a little more full now than this side does. So that's a second coat. And just kind of let that dry for 1 to 2 minutes. You don't want to go immediately, because what will happen is, depending on mascara of choice, you will kind of blend it in and mix it up. Does that make sense? It won't really get to do what it needs to do to volumize and lengthen. And it also keeps them moisturized and it keeps them flexible. All this, the soft wax that's in there, this keeps everything really flexible so that you don't have a lot of breakage. We don't get a lot of fallout when we're wearing our Senegence lash scents, and we just have much healthier lashes, especially over time. So if you've got customers who are maybe fighting some small little tiny lashes, or maybe they had some health issues and their lashes aren't growing in fast enough for them, or they're not growing very long, they're not very long and they can't really see them very well. They want them to be a little more bold. If there's a way to put on your lashes, fantastic. But if not, the mascara will do this. It just might take a couple of coats of your primer, and then at least a couple of coats, sometimes 3, depending on the look and the the design that you're looking and wanting in your eyes. So that is our primer. And just so you know, and this is on all of them, but there is no parabens, there's no animal byproducts, it's vegan, it's gluten-free, is no animal testing. So that is in everything. I mean, it's listed, but you know what? That is in everything, and that is the beauty and the amazement of Senegence Cosmetics. So if you understand that this always goes on first, and then the reason for the coloring is because we want your lashes to come out more bold when you put your mascaras on. Okay, so now let's go into the Volume Intense, and that's the one in your gold tube. Remember, we're getting freebies, freebies, freebies. We like freebies. So we're going to talk about the Volume Intense. Now, this one is not waterproof, okay? This one is more semi. It's humidity proof. We'll put it that way. It's humidity proof. We have a lot of that here in Oklahoma. And I do wear this almost daily. When I don't have lashes on, I for sure wear this on my bottom, my lower lashes. And for those of you wearing your lashes on the outside and on the inside, those little tiny lashes, you can put your mascara. That's what I do, so that my lashes are a little further in and they're not hanging off the edge or on the inner corner. I leave that open for the actual mascara to do its job on that, okay? So we're going to go into the Volume Intense, and like I said, this is more humidity proof, but it doesn't flake. It doesn't wipe off and give you little specks all over the place on your face. Now, here's the thing with that. On anything that has to do with even our cosmetics, humidity proof, they won't move, yes. If you are sweating or say they get wet, just don't do any rubbing on them. Just let it kind of air dry. Look at it, kind of let it air dry, and then it will just go ahead and stay. Now, if you rub it with a towel or your hand or whatever you have going on, then yes, then you might have some coming off and having some issues that way. But as far as just every day, you're in the office, you're at work, you're at home, you're having a ball out there in this heat, not, then this is not going to go anywhere, okay? Not just for regular everyday use. And it also comes in colors. So I don't know if any of you have tried them, but we do have Jewel Jade, and these are still available. Now, these are not the waterproof. These are in the Volume Intense also, humidity proof, Regal Plum, and then the Cobalt Blue. The Cobalt Blue for Senegence, right? So we love that. But these, if you put a couple of coats of your primer on and then let it dry a couple of minutes and then go into those colors, you can really see it. Instead of doing one of your black or your black brown, which they come in, both of these will come in black and black brown, then it'll show a lot more bold, the color. If you want it to be a little more subdued, then maybe put your black brown, a little light layer of your black brown on there, and then maybe take your color and concentrate on the tips so that you can kind of see it. And another fun thing to do is to pop it into your brows. I know. So especially if you've got an event or something fun, I've even taken hair strips and I've used my mascaras in my hair and, you know, used it for fun little events like that, or just if you need a pop of color, feeling some color that day, then yes, let's do it. Another thing is that if you are, and I didn't say, but on my brows, while I'm thinking about it, I have my black brown in my brows today. So I did not wear a brow scent or a shadow or anything in my brows. What I did is I just kind of, because my brows are really light in color. They're not gray or white or anything like that, but they're very blonde, much like my rootage going on here and some of my highlights. But the mascara, I just barely touch on my area of where my hairs are. Then I took my brow gel and I brushed it and evened it out with my brow gel. So I didn't just take this and just woo, you know, might be a little bold, might be a little Groucho Marx. If that's what you're looking for, absolutely. But that's what I did on these. So I have just my black brown volume intense on there and with my brow gel, and they're just not going to move, not going to move at all. I love that. We all do. Okay, so let's go over. Let me see if I missed anything because, oh my gosh, if you do not have your product knowledge guide, you guys, there is so much amazing information when you are reading on one of your products. It just really helps to answer a lot of questions too. So if there's anything during this presentation that I have missed or you have a question of something I talked about, then please just pop it down or send me a message or whatever. Just pop it down in the comments and it may be something someone else wanted to hear too. So happy to do that. It does have a full list of all the key ingredients, which you guys in your volume intense humidity proof, it is the jojoba, and that is what keeps them so flexible and moist. And it's really important. So that way we don't have lashes that break and fall out. I know a lot of lines out there could possibly do that. They're a little bit too drying, I guess you could say. They make your lashes kind of crisp and sometimes they feel like they're breaking off, and they probably are in some ways. So that's the beauty of your lash scents. Just make sure that you back it up with your underscents first and get that extra nourishment in there and also that moisture. It also has the Capixel, of course. We talked about that. It's going to be in all of them. Woohoo! We always want those hair follicles to be stimulated, which is what it does. And it stimulates the hair follicles to grow so that over time they do get thicker and longer. And I can tell you just from experience using these since they came out years ago, but my lashes and my brows and that sort of thing, they are so much, my hair, such better shape than it even was when I was in high school and college. So I can just tell you that it definitely works. Also, you can always start with your lash curler first on your clean clean lashes. So this is before you've done your under scents or your lash scents, your volume intense. You can go ahead and do your lash curler real gentle. Make sure that you've got your little applicator sponge in there so that we don't hurt our lashes or your skin, and just go back and gently give it just a few. I just kind of count to about 5 or 6 is what I do to kind of give it, kind of like you do when you're doing your curling iron, you know, and you're going 1, 2, 3, kind of doing the count. I kind of do a little count when I don't just press and hold it real tight. I kind of do that at the roots a little bit and kind of bend them that way. And then on your uppers, to make them thicker looking, you can always use your liner pencils, work amazing, and your shadows up under your waterline to really give a bold look on the base of your lashes. And sometimes you don't even have to wear liner on top, depending on the look that you're looking for. So let's go into our waterproof, which everybody is in love with, especially in the summers. And right now, the whole entire United States is really hot. I think no matter where you are right now. So waterproof is really a great sell. It also comes in the black and the black brown. But I'll tell you what, the black brown I can wear every single day, and then kind of save my black for a bolder look here and there. It does have just such a beautiful medium look on the black brown. And always make sure that you're starting with your under scents. But here's a trick on kind of the removal on your mascaras in the evening, or whatever it is you've got to remove them. Could be in the morning. I would suggest to either use your Fuchs wipes, okay, or your, gotta shake it up so you can see the pretty color, or your Fuchs liquid, maybe with a little cloth. I kind of put it on one of my little makeup cloths, and I can kind of do that. I take mine off in the evening in the shower. So I keep my Fuchs in the shower, and then if there's any residual later when I'm doing my skincare, then I might use my little towel and kind of remove it that way. But the trick to the waterproof is to use for removing, because it's going to be a little harder to remove. Your volume intense humidity proof will kind of come off fairly easy with your 3-in-1 cleanser. When you're cleansing your face, you're going to be able to wash this off pretty easy. Even with just a little towel and water, if you're kind of needing to do it that way, it will come off. But your waterproof will not. So the trick is to maybe base your lashes in your humidity proof first, let that dry a minute, and then do a couple of layers of your waterproof. It kind of gives a great coating. I've got that under scents there. Then I'm going into my volume intense, and I'm getting all that moisture so they're not going to be brittle. Then when I make them very bold with my waterproof, then it's a little bit easier for the coating to slide off your lashes when you're cleansing them. Does that make sense? Because this one comes off a little easier. So it can help a lot of that to come off easier for you. It also will help it come off a little easier for you if your under scents is also on there, because it comes off fairly easy also. Okay, does that make sense on that? Just to kind of help. But the hair follicle self-generation, is that not so cool? But I just find that really neat that our products are actually helping our lashes, our brows, our hair on our head to grow. And it stimulates the growth over time. Now, if I use it once today and I don't use it again for 6 months and I'm using something else, then yeah, I'm not going to get a lot of growth. This is over time. It's just like your skin care, your hair care, everything. It's over time, and you have to keep your systems going in place and do them day and night, at least once a day, and make sure you're cleansing properly. So you don't want to do a removal of your makeups and things like that, like leaving it on all the time. You might want to remove it. I know some people like to sleep in their makeup, and it does feel good. It doesn't feel like we have anything on, so it's very easy to fall asleep with your makeups and your mascaras and everything. But I do want to go back to the removal. But the melt away, which we also have as removal, I find, I don't know about the rest of you, but these are much more gentle and easier to use to remove things around my eyes. Does that make sense? The cleansing balm is wonderful. You can put a dot on your skin and just remove everything around your brows and blah, blah, blah. I mean, it will all come off. But around your eyes, you want to be very gentle, and these are really gentle. This I would use with a little cloth, and then or if you don't have Fuchs wipes, and then just use a tiny corner, and then just be very gentle in the removal around your eyes. We don't want a lot of rough pulling. And this, concentrate on the word melt. It does melt very easily, everything off. So much so that sometimes I've had it easily get into my eyes. I don't know if anyone else has had that problem, but I have. So I need a little bit more control around removing my mascaras and things around my eyes. So I love the Fuchs wipes and the Fuchs remover. And I'll tell you what, these for travel, get an extra and throw it in your bag, and have your traveling customers to have those handy also. But you're waterproof, it's sweat proof, it's tear proof. So if you are in a sad mood, which I hope you never are, but we all get there, have this available and be wearing it that day. There's no animal testing. It's also vegan and gluten-free and all of that. But here's the other thing. Let me show you on your Volume Intense mascara. This is my black. And let me show you the difference in the brushes, okay, in your applicator. Can you see that? Okay, so that's in the gold tube. This is the humidity proof. And then here is the brush for your waterproof. See the difference? So sometimes this is wonderful to just really get at the base and then pop it on up towards the tips and really get some great volume, because these are great for detail and coating of the lash. This will really bump it up. So that's what you want to have as your backup. If you're going somewhere fancy, you want to have your waterproof and that wonderful fluffy brush that's in there. I love that brush. It really grabs all those lashes and just whoop, pops them all on up there. So it's really nice. There again, the things that are in all of these, you might see where it has beeswax. Remember that synthetic beeswax. We get that question a lot from our customers and our guests. So just remember that is synthetic beeswax, okay? I wanted to hit that because I did see that and I'm like, oh, that's a great reminder to let that be known. So, on the mascaras, I believe that is the high points on that. So let's go through how you can sell this deal, right? Let me show you what some things I have that I keep these on hand all year. you know, if you want to spoil a client or anything like that, always have some FOOP samples on hand, okay? Because we talked about that, right? So what if you have something like this? Dun, da, da, da. Are those not so cute? I mean, they get so excited when they get little tiny things like this. It is huge for a customer. They love it. And for something in the summer like this, it's light and it's airy. We stick in a little scrunchie. Remember, they're going to get, now I had gotten some of these, the little coppery ones, and now I'm going to get some freebies coming, some more. So you could pop that in there for your client. And depending on who they are, always make sure, you know, it's kind of a little upsell. They might say, hey, I need a black mascara. Okay, fantastic. I have them. Now, it's hot outside. Do you want the waterproof black or do you want the humidity proof? Or here's my suggestion. You have one of each, because then this will take you through those next 3 months. You know, you got 2 or 3 months of good use out of each one. It'll get you through everything. And then if you have a fancy event, you can wear and make your eyes more bold with the waterproof. And we don't want to forget that you need an undersense, because that's what coats them and really gives you the volume, the thickness, the lengthening of those lashes. So that really helps. Sure, I would love to have that. And then I am set for, oh, I don't know, at least 3 months or more for the other items. Now, if you really want to start spoiling, which you can do, you know, lashes and brows and things, that area kind of go together. So sometimes you could stick in a tweezer or even, if I can grab it here, hold up, it's rolling away from me like my camera. It's rolling away. The little twinkles. So if they need to touch up anything, and that's one way that you could do that. And don't forget, always throw a business card in. If you don't have your products tagged with your little name and number, always make sure that you have a business card in there so that they know how to get in touch with you if they're starting to get low. And then also, just make sure that you have their info. If you've got their info for the sale, the day that you placed it and got it for them, the days that you sent it off to them, and their tracking information if they're not coming to see you or you're going to see them. Also, make sure you have an email and a phone number. Sometimes we get really in a hurry and we forget those little things, but that's part of business. So always make sure that you get that great business info from them, because you can make a note in 3 months or at 2 months, 2.5 months, you're going to contact and see which one, if not all three, she is in love with and what's getting low so that you can get her refills ready. Okay. These also, and you guys, I found these were just Amazon. I have a feeling, and I will double check. Okay. If you haven't seen these, and I will pop the link in there also. Okay. And then I always make sure that you've got your little Foops White, because what's that do? Possibly upsell. Let her know that she can use this to take all of her makeup off, keep it in there, and it's great for removing her waterproof and her humidity proof. Okay, so we do that, and that's one way. Especially say you're doing a lash event, you're doing an online event. These might make great little gifts that you can, this is what everything's coming in during your party, because everyone who buys anything that has to do with eyes and the mascaras, this is what you're going to give it to them in. And then through the year, sometimes I just have all these little fun ones. And I will use these also. And I might put shred, piece of candy, just all kinds of fun things. A little set of earrings. Just know your person. And sometimes that helps too, to really learn your customers and really be able to spoil them with little things like that. And also, don't forget that they do come in these colors, Beauty Must. And so you can grab these and get your free lash curlers, okay? So that is really all I have for you today. And that was so fun. I'm so happy to have been able to bring this information to you. And if there's any questions, please let me know. I'm going to show you how they can be spoiled. I'm going to give you a teaser again. Now see, they're going to open that up. Oh my gosh. And then they're going to go, oh wow. Oh wow, I wasn't expecting. Oh, that's what customers love. And I love to put, not really glitter, but I'll use the shredded shreds in there, maybe some of the blues and the colors for the seasons in there, and really spoof up your little packages. It's very inexpensive. Hit that Dollar Tree. You can get so much, and even on the Amazons and things like that. Great day, and I will hope to see you guys soon and hug some necks at the next training. I know here in Tulsa, in Sapulpa, we are doing a Glam and Gloss on August the 26th. So we would love for you to come if you're in the area of Oklahoma. Hope you guys will all sign up. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.